All right, everybody, welcome back to the ZOWIE NA Open. We are in the semifinals, our very first semifinals match of the evening, and it is this stream's favorite player in the upper left, spawning as the teal Protoss. He is Arthur. And his opponent, his challenger, also not dropping a single map in this tournament. Well, Arthur dropped one, but still, these guys have very good track record so far for this evening. The blue Zerg, he is rebOrn. Well, let's hope his internet has sorted itself out. Be ashamed to have any problems here against Arthur. Certainly could. You want every advantage you can have, but rebOrn, I'm actually really excited for this matchup. rebOrn is, if you guys didn't hear, top 16 GM here on NA. He's actually Korean GM as well. Very solid player. And this threatens to be, it's wrong choice of words, but it threatens to be an excellent matchup. I might even have fun here. Oh my god.
I don't know, man. I don't think Get Control has fun.
Oh my god. That caught me so off guard. I was completely unprepared. Oh god.
I'm surprised, I've been saving that up for a while, I've always been like, no, I don't think you sound anything like In Control. I'm always on your side. Should have brought it up during a bigger event. Oh well.
I've been backstabbed. Damn it. I can only retaliate by calling you Zombie Girl. It's the only way.
No, that's so much worse.
Zombie Girl, let's get it trending. Hashtag
No.
Zombie Girl, everybody on Twitter.
Alright, peace?
Peace. Alright, we'll have a truce here for now.
Okay. Peace. Arthur is going for the front wall off again. He did it on Yansu, and I assumed it was because Yansu is kind of popular for early pulls. Akalon, it can happen, but it's not what I'd say the most popular map for it. And in fact, he gets a pull after Hatch, which is a little ballsy.
A little ballsy. Not too worried about being cannon rushed, it looks like here. Arthur's certainly being, very scouty with this probe. Maybe putting the fear into his opponent's mind, but we do see gas gets up pretty quickly here as well for rebOrn, so he probably expects a gateway opening here from Arthur, which is interestingly structured. As you mentioned, he's got, a wall off at the front, but he also has a pylon in the back, which is where he placed his cyber core. So he's prepared to wall, and he's not investing in that low ground pylon that like Naniwa likes to do, as I was talking about before. So this is interesting, because I'm really sick of losing that pylon at the low ground to Zerglings, so I think I'm going to steal this from Arthur. Arthur is, he's teaching me some stuff here, man. These replays are definitely going to get reviewed by myself.
So useful, man. Once you realize the power you have as a caster, it's bad.
The replays are mine. They're all mine.
Oh, what are you doing, Arthur? Sending a little probe out there? Can you make sure it's all hidden? What are you doing?
What could he be doing? It's probably just to scout to see if there's a third. I always like to think to be a proxy, though. And at this point, what can he really proxy? He's got some gas. I mean, proxying anything there would just be ridiculous. And he doesn't have anything to cannon rush with, so it's likely just a third scout. But man, Arthur caught me off guard at that proxy Stargate, so I've got hopes high for some craziness. Are the Lings gonna go over there? No, they scout everywhere. That's why he's hiding it there. It's the most obvious place. He's hiding it in plain sight. It's beautiful.
He usually had an overload over there, and I'm surprised he hasn't set one over there yet. The one in front at the natural, as you can see, it's not so useful right now. He could definitely be traveling off elsewhere to scout, as it is destined to do. It's like a toy that's not played with right now. Oh boy, I shouldn't have said that. A Toy Story toy it's not being played with.
A Toy Story toy that is not being played with. Possibly the saddest thing in the world. Just sits there. I don't know, Toy Story toy not being played with is the live version. I think I'm trying to think of what toy has the most dead eyes. I'm trying to think, because Woody's eyes honestly creep me out when he's in a zonk mode. When he's not being played with, that just, I don't know, it weirds me out a little bit. But okay, the pylon's here. This is a lot of Zerglings for rebOrn, which is nice for him, but what sucks for him is they totally missed this pylon, and this is not something you should let slip by you.
No, and he's going to be able to have a force field. He's not going to have another one until he warps another in. I assume he will warp another in, because you really need it. That's too many Lings and too little firepower to hold elsewise. Well, no, actually, rebOrn's a little too scared. And, of course, the warp-ins would probably happen, so he's going to assume this won't break through and go ahead and just leave. He's got a third up, but Zealots are waiting. He's going to wait until he has, maybe 6. Very, very sneaky Protoss stuff right there, and then just go for it. Be a really big surprise.
If rebOrn would just go up this ramp, he could see the Chrono Boost on the Warp Gates and be like, what are you doing? But no, it's too late now. And yeah, it's 6 Zealots over in the lower right, or the middle right, over by the 3rd, and this hatchery is just straight. He's waiting for it to finish. He's like, okay, finish up, hatchery. I'm going to come kill you now.
Well, he's not going yet. Oh my god, he's waiting for even more. Like, he really is gonna get this hatch. There is no, like, ifs about it. That is so many zealots, and surprise! The queen has met, that is the worst present ever for a queen right there. Gets surrounded, and so will the hatch. Even the militia corps coming in here is gonna help out. In fact, the queen, there's no queen, so even if the zealots didn't kill the hatch, the militia corps might. There you go.
Yeah, this is bad news. I don't know if rebOrn was watching the stream or playing a different game, probably, more likely than not, when Arthur was playing versus Sleep, but this is exactly what happened, and Arthur, again, gets a hatchery with just no zealot losses whatsoever.
No, that's terrible. I mean, usually you expect to at least lose the zealots, but this time the zealots are still alive, even getting some roaches and lings as they keep charging on. And Arthur's not investing too much into this, really. He has three gateways, and he has, strike out behind her with phoenixes. This is a build that is just completely wrecking all the Zergs Arthur meets.
Yeah, now, rebOrn, though, does have some roaches out this time. So it's not going to be a complete loss. However, just the overall damage was huge. We'll see if Arthur is able to take an earlier 3rd than he did on Whirlwind, because that's kind of what this map is made for, taking an early 3rd and holding it. Hasn't worked on those rocks at all, though. He is following up with Phoenix again, however. He's got 4 out, 5 on the way, might go up to 7 like he did last game, and get himself some more kills. But we do have spores up here for rebOrn, at least 1 in the natural, none in the main, actually. That queen is going to be vulnerable. But here comes the counter pressure from the Zerg. A lot of force fields. Really not going to be able to do too much. The best he can do here is deny a 3rd, which Arthur is not looking to lay down, it seems.
He's going to try and bait out some force fields, but none have been baited. And this Mothership Corps can just scout everything that's going on, because there's no Hydralisk and no Mutas, nothing anti-air on the way he has to be scared of. And the Phoenixers are still going to do a lot of damage. It's going to go up to a lot of gateways. Oh, looks like he's going to follow up with an all-in here. That's 4 plus 3. That's going to be a 7 gate. Plus a forge, so maybe hoping to chrono out a +1.
Yeah, really strongly timed, especially against Roachling. The +1 is just so brutal, even against Roaches, which he is picking off these Phoenixes here. Still no +1 out. I'm not sure if maybe, did rebOrn see the forge? Yeah, he did see it building, but okay, there, we do see the +1. He can chrono boost that, pretty much constantly, get it out very, very quickly. And he's going to have a couple Immortals out by the time that it's done, too, so this is a very strong follow-up push. Doesn't even necessarily need to be all in. You can take a 3rd at like 13 minutes as we saw last game, but as long as you keep this strong map presence, you can just do so much damage. This Immortal Sentry follow-up is so hard to deal with.
The last time we saw it, it was on Whirlwind, and he didn't have 7 gateways, he had 6. And, Whirlwind's a much more difficult map to get a 3rd. Agalon, you can get a 9-minute 3rd. Like, maybe even a 7-minute 3rd. Like, seriously, it's the easiest map to get a 3rd on. So this is probably going to be, all invested, cut probes, and just go really, really hard into it. +1 is not going to be done by the time this push happens, but eventually it will be, and the War Prism's also going to follow it up.
Yeah, he is investing hard into this, but nice spread here from rebOrn. He's got Roach Hydra. It's exactly what you want to try to deal with this. And does he have range on those Hydras? That's so important. Okay, it's about to finish, which means he can fire over the force fields. It's going to be so key, especially considering the high concentration of sentries here. That being said, he does warp in about 8 more Stalkers, or 7 more Stalkers there, so it's going to be nice for him. The army supply, 83 to 76. Arthur in the lead. Here comes the engagement. The best spread rebOrn can possibly have. Is it going to be enough? Time warps go down. Arthur going to buy himself some time and force his opponent out of position here. And rebOrn just trying to buy himself time as well, making as much as he can. Force field's going to lock out pretty much this entire army.
Those are really nice force fields. So many of the Hydras off to the right really are doing a whole lot of damage. The key units really is taking out Zealots, not too big of a deal. Warps are not doing anything. It's just chilling. But it can come into use later. I think Arthur has a feeling that he maybe has this. There's so many Hydras left over, you need to be a little bit careful, but the Immortals are still ripping through it. And the Phoenixes can even come out and help. Master Core does go down, but it wasn't too big of a deal. And, oh, well, maybe rebOrn? Are you going to push this back? But even if you push it back, is that going to be enough?
It's going to be so tough to do so while he's just, right here on top of him. The drone's going to be pulled here. Always a sign of desperation. Is it going to be enough to hold back Arthur? Just a few Hydras left. This Stalker Zealot Force so good, and +1 is done. Arthur with a very decisive victory there for game number 1.
Mm-hmm. It might have been a little bit closer if potentially, rebOrn hadn't lost his third earlier on. You would have had just enough, maybe. But it was a really well thought out game, once again, for our Protoss brethren. Well, I guess in Wyrd's case, not mine. Protoss.
Protoss. Yes, Protoss, the thumbs up race. That's what I like to say because they are the best. I don't like to say that, but I did say it this time, and maybe it'll stick. But wow, the all-in follow-up was so interesting from Arthur, because, I mean, if you get basically a free hatchery kill, that's less production for your opponent, so you can be like, okay, I'm going to follow up all-in and kill you just because you're not going to have units, you're not going to have the necessary income. But you can also take the tack of, okay, that's a huge victory for me. I am going to take a third. I'm going to pull back. And we saw him, with that different approach on Whirlwind. But like you said, Akelon wastes a different map in that regard. It's easier to hold a third, which is why it was more obvious he was doing it all in. Was it the right choice? It ended up winning in the game, but we saw rebOrn was maybe on the cusp of holding. It was, I mean, he didn't have that much of a shot just because he did take so much damage early on, but I didn't really expect Arthur to follow up with that all in, just because, once you do that so much damage, you can always get more ahead, as Artosis likes to say.
Yeah, that might have been his game plan all along, so the fact that it did do so much damage was just an added bonus.
Added bonus, insult to injury, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, even without the hatch kill, Sentry Immortal is just so tough to deal with, even when it's a little bit later than the 2-base all-in, because you just might not expect it, as I did not. But yeah, it's going to be rebOrn's map pick. I mean, as a Zerg, he's probably going to pick Derelict Watcher. There it is. And it's just the ladder map pool, keeping it real here for the ZOWIE NA Open. Keeps things nice and simple, too, which makes things a lot easier. We don't need to kind of refer to giant map lists. Can sometimes be confusing. Incidentally, the other semifinal, I believe, is Clarity Gaming Shu versus Rico, currently going, currently going to be the next setup here. But yeah, Derelict Watcher. And all right, we're getting loaded in here. So guys, if you're just tuning in, Arthur up 1-0 against rebOrn. And I'm just blathering on and on. Zombie, talk to me. Stop me from talking. It's my only hope.
I don't know, man. We ran out of all our TV shows and stuff.
Did we? Yeah, we did talk about Family Guy. Crap. What about my favorite TV show of all time, Scrubs? You watched?
I didn't know.
Oh man. All right. That gets my heartfelt recommendation. Like, I recommend Scrubs as a TV show on the same level I recommend StarCraft 2 as a video game. They're each other's category. Scrubs is just amazing. I mean, if you like 30 Rock and Parks and Rec, you're going to be all about. So. I do. 100% do. Guys, tweet at ZG Gaming. Let her know how awesome Scrubs is. Because I'm just going to assume anyone who's watched it can't disagree because it's super good. John C. McGinley, a master of all men.
Do you watch Legend of Korra?
I do not. Tell me about the show.
Scrub. You are a scrub. Do you watch Avatar: The Last Airbender?
I have started to watch that, actually. I'm a little behind the game. I watched it a lot, but I do need to get on top of that.
You do, okay? So you don't even understand then what I'm going to complain about right now.
All right, let's do it. Drop the meta on me.
All right, so now it's the next Avatar, right after Aang. Sad face, spoiler alert. And she's like this hot-headed chick, and I really like her as a person, whatever, blah, 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 personality. But, so she has like a boyfriend who's he's kind of a dick. I really wish he wasn't, but the writers kind of wrote him like that. And they break up, but it's like kind of like we're on a break thing, because it was like a heat of the moment, and then she left and got knocked unconscious. Not by him, by someone else. But after this happens, like, his ex-girlfriend, who he technically cheated on with Korra on, kisses him, and he's like, oh, I gotta go. Well, this flippin' episode, he's making out with her. And I'm like, what are you doing? This is exactly like Friends. Korra's gonna come back and be like, what did you do? And he's gonna be like, we were on a break. Oh, my God.
Well, that's awesome. Well, is Friends not the most successful TV show of all time? I think it might be, but Friends is up there, so they're following a formula. You got to say that.
God, but he's such a such a douchebag. All right.
Oh, hashtag douchebag. Get it trending. Also, zombie girl. No, wait, we truced. I'm sorry. ZombieGrub.
Truce.
Truce.
Although I was telling my friends I should do a troll cast where I act as a Valley girl who doesn't know StarCraft, and they were like zombie girl and control casts, and I left.
Might as well do it. I mean, if you're gonna have an alter ego, I won't, and I'll just be in control since that's who I am. Oh, actually, I got a picture with him. So I have proof that both of us were in the same room at the same time. So if anyone needs me to pull that out, I've got that on my phone. But we are into our game now, guys. Matt is Derelict Watcher, rebOrn's pick, of course. Spawning in the upper right, the blue Zerg, he is rebOrn, and he is down 0-1. Now, his opponent, on the flip side, up 1-0. The teal Protoss, he is Arthur. Here's a question. In the match versus Sleet, played on Yansu and Whirlwind, so not Derelict. So I answered my own question. Apologies there. So how does Arthur like to play Derelict? He is a man of late thirds, and Derelict is probably the hardest third to hold of any map. So could we see a 2-base from Arthur? Maybe. Will we see a 13-minute third? Also a maybe. But I think it's going to be one of those two. If he takes a 7 or 9-minute third here, I'll be very surprised and very impressed if he holds it as well.
There's kind of two ways to hold maps that are, that are hard to hold a third, and that is to get it really, really early, and they don't scout it, or they don't prepare for it at all, and they don't care sometimes, and like hold it that way, and then like have good SimCity and whatnot, or to just get like the safest third at 13 minutes, and then that's how you get it, and just to be behind economically, but with a safe third that you're gonna have. And what we were saying, Arthur prefers the later third, at least so far. We haven't seen him on this map in PvZ yet, so it could be that he's going to get an early one. Not too sure. He's going to scout, however, make sure that his opponent does, in fact, gets that hatch down. And, ooh, he was paying attention last time. He noted that rebOrn went for the hatch first, and so Arthur goes for Forge inside the main. He is trying to hide this. He is going to hide it. He is going to get a free hatch kill unless rebOrn sends a drone down here, and he is going to send a drone. This is the way to do it. But still, it's possible that the cannon rush will continue, especially if he traps himself in here.
Oh, there he does do it. 4 pylons, completely trapping him. Of course, he can cancel one to get out as he does there, but he can just remake it if the drones come in. Yeah. Ooh. This is just so tough to deal with. Now, he may have to cancel the hatch. He may decide to just try to hold it with spines. Ooh, but the probe actually gets sealed down well. But I wanted to mention we have 3 pylons, a couple of which were canceled. 2 cannons here. Cancels a couple more pylons. Maybe almost remakes. No, doesn't remake. And yeah, he actually timed it nicely enough to where the cannon was laid down to the point where he had to cancel the hatch before both cannons finished. So I was going to say Arthur invested a lot into that, but he actually invested the least amount that he possibly could in order to secure that hatchery kill, quote-unquote, cancel, and ends up with only 2 pylons and a cannon standing. That was well executed.
It was very impressive micro. Building build cancellation micro was really, really good. Lesser Protosses would have, had 5 buildings down there because they couldn't cancel and they wanted to get the probe alive, and then they would have wasted tons more minerals. Now Arthur is in a great lead. He's going to scout the third and say, well, darn, I'm not going to be able to cannon rush that, but that would have been a long shot anyways. And the third will go down. It's such a susceptible third, though, that it might be a cue for Arthur to do something like a 4-gate pressure and really invest into it. Oh my God! What is that? That's a proxy hatch.
That is a proxy hatch, which is in the most conspicuous place you can really have.
Savior! You're killing esports like usual.
Killing esports again. Savior killing esports again. But that's an interesting place for a proxy hatch because I mean probes are going to be rallied down to the natural. That's just it's going to get spotted. Now, does rebOrn cancel it, or what does he do? Because he has links come up the front here too. I don't know. I like to speculate, but I can't move the screen. I can't see. Okay, no, we're back.
Oh, he was born in 1994. Oh no, he's still 19. Okay, never mind. Well, that's gonna make a joke about Savior, but.
Okay, we have a proxy hatch. We have Lynx coming into the front, but they get walled off. Very clutch there by Arthur. His building micro, man. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Arthur. Esports history in the making. Hashtag tasteless.
Yeah. Uh, that summary score I was put down. He accidentally put down a gateway. That was just, the first thing that he reached for, but he does fix it. And this proxy hatch, it's gonna get up. It's not gonna get a queen on anything like that, but I don't know. It might produce some lings in the main, which is kind of annoying. It might just also be canceled. It has, of course, brought in a lot of probes out, and that's lost mining time. But is that worth 200 minerals, 225 minerals? I don't know.
No, I wouldn't. I don't know. I mean, mathematically, maybe it is, but then you just end up with this hatch that gets killed a couple moments later. So I don't disagree with him canceling it there. He does take his third over at the 12 o'clock.
Ooh, weird.
So, yeah, that's an interesting choice. Arthur not going to see it, at least at this point. It's really hard to read a Zerg on this map, especially after a Forge Fast expand where you are just like straight up contained until like the 8-minute mark when your Stargate normally finishes. In this case, it's not going to because we had a cannon rush, but Arthur's not going to be able to get out there until he gets a hallucinated Phoenix. So I'm not sure exactly what he'll see. He might send his Mothership Core out because he's really bold with his Mothership Core. He's just like, all right, go fly and scout the map. I don't care if you die, but I'm not going to let you because I'm Arthur, and I just somehow squeeze you into like the tiniest corner behind the map where the stalkers can't hit you. I don't know, this Mothership Core does work for Arthur, man.
It does. One thing that's going for rebOrn, he's going to have like a second or a natural and a third that are just so easily snipeable and so hard to defend. But because he never took the base at the natural, what should be the natural, Arthur might be thinking, okay, you're going to do a 2-base all-in? He might be over defensive, as to what he would have liked to have been. And sometimes that messes up a player. That makes them miss a few probes or whatever. Sometimes messes up the build. But he is going to scout the third and say, okay, he did go for the 3 hatch. That is a third I might end up killing because that is just so out in the open that, my god, I warp in a bunch of things that don't even matter. And Arthur is going to go for 5 more gateways and a Ward Prism. That's going to bring him up to just 6 gateways, but that's still a number. And a Twilight Council. So this must be a 6-gate blink all in with +1 and +2.
Yeah, very well could be. If he's going to all in with it, I do expect him to add a couple more gates. Mothership Core certainly does not out DPS a Spore Crawler. Pretty close, though. But no, Mothership Core will get chased away. Might even need to recall. Oh, cancels the Spore. Look at that.
That
rebOrn.
must be a mistake.
Yeah, he remakes it, okay. So, yeah, I don't know how you accidentally hit escape unless... One of my hotkeys I have on the tilde button, so... That can be a thing. How did this Zealot get in here? Oh, the proxy pylon. All right, Arthur. Don't play any more tricks on me. My fragile brain can't handle it.
He really needs to take out that pylon because that is just a point where he can warp in, and it's going to be really annoying if he draws his units out one way and then warps in another way. That is going to be really bad for rebOrn's main. The Mothership Core is just like, whatever, bro. Oh my god, the time warp plus the force field, perfectly timed. How did you do that?
Arthur just squeezing into the smallest cracks. He's got 3 sentries on the high ground, too. He is going to lock this ramp down probably until this hatchery and spawning pool are dead. And rebOrn is just getting these units thrown away on the ramp. The Mothership Core killing them about as slowly as any unit can, but it's still going down. Drones are actually surrounding underneath the Mothership Core, or War Prism rather, trying to kill everything they can, but that's a fight. Zealots versus drones is not the best, and rebOrn just trying to get up this ramp, but he can't. It's a force field. You can't do it, man. I can guarantee you that.
No, he should have started making spine crawlers as soon as he saw the force field the first time, and then maybe they would have gotten down since the drones were, kind of taunting the Zealots along. But now it's going to be nothing but a few roaches that pop out every now and then. But Arthur's not stopping here. Like, he still has the sentries. He's still warping in. He's not going to stop and let rebOrn catch his breath because this is doing such good damage. In fact, he's going to be following this up with a blink plus immortal attack as well. That's going to be super, super hard to hold.
And throughout all this, we see Arthur's supply creeping up and rebOrn's slowly falling. And when you follow up with a 2-base attack with a supply advantage as Protoss, you are just in a good situation. All these sentries still alive, all 3 of them, dropping continuous force fields. rebOrn has been hanging out on this ramp so long, it's like a concert is going on there, but that's going to be it. He cannot hold. GG. Arthur does advance to the finals.
He cannot hold. Never hear Zealot say that. No way you hear that all the time.
Hashtag jokes. Zealots say that all the time. You guys got tricked. But yeah, Arthur blazing through this tournament right now with a series of 2-0s and a single 2-1. He's going to go into the finals to face the winner of Rico and Shu, which will be the next semifinal we're going to be jumping into now. Shu, a Protoss player for Clarity Gaming. Rico, actually don't know anything about personally. See if there's any info on the World Wide Web. Zombie, have you heard of Rico at all?
Nope. It's going to be different spelling than, Johnny Rico, which I thought it was at first.
Oh yeah, different spelling. And, well, actually pulling up the profile here, looks like plays for Impulse Esports, I believe, another prominent North American team. And let's see, it looks to be rank something master. Oh, wait, I got to pull it up. I don't know why I'm looking at it on battle.net instead of the SC2 battle.net. That's where Google brought me. See if we can pull some information on Rico, get ourselves familiarized with these players. Let's see. All right, let's view Rico's profile. So, taking a look at Rico here, he is rank 4 master, been Grandmaster in the past. He is a Terran player, so this will be actually our first TVP of the evening, Shu being a Protoss player. Terrans are here for you, Zombie. Worry not. It's actually our first Terran.
Yes.
Wow. All right.
Yeah.
You have to become the Rico expert. And, no, I got nothing. Go on.
Well, yeah, I don't know him, so I can't tell you anything about his style or what he prefers, if he's up to date on builds or if he's using some of the outdated builds. For instance, you sometimes see players in America and Europe use like Widowmine drops, but not many people in Korea really do that anymore, honestly. Unless it's like a throwback build to try and catch their opponent off guard, or anything really besides 3 barracks opener regular in PvT. So I don't know. I'll have to see what he's been studying. He has gotten very, very far in a tournament that has some very, good contenders. So he's got to be good.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, making all the way to the semifinals here. Why don't we take a look at his run? Let's pull up this bracket, see if he's see what he's done to get here. Let's start round of 64. Rico, he got a bye. Let's see, round of 32. Rico took out Draenarch 2-0. Took out Demilove 2-0. Took out Revolution 2-0 on the way here. So another ace player into the semifinals. I guess it makes sense that all the ace players make it to the semifinals. And a Shu on the way here. Let's see. 2-0'd Paperboat in the quarterfinals. 2-1'd Demonizer. And then 2-0'd, I believe 2-0'd Lycangrope. That is a clever name. I like it. So Shu has dropped him at this tournament. But yeah, our first PVT. Man, I barely remember. What is our Terran's the human race, right? They look like humans a little bit, but they're criminals, all of them.
Oh, not all of them, but a lot of them.
Most of them. The military personnel, at least.
They're
the
all
low-grade military
reformed
personnel.
too. So well, some of them aren't reformed, but a lot of them are. So they'll be mass murderers who've killed their parents and done altar shrines to demons and shit, and they'll be the nicest people because they literally got their brain glitched, and it's creepy. I read some of the books, that's why I know.
I should read those because I enjoy the StarCraft lore, and the first thing I did when I got heard of the Swarm was play the crap out of the campaign because I just wanted to know what happened. So
yeah,
that's cool. I got to get on top of that. Trying to get Shu in our lobby here. Unwilling to play in the semifinals. Come on, Schubert. Get in here, guys. Shu. Actually, we can see if we can get these players' Twitters here. I know Shu is at Clarity Shu. Let's see what Rico's got for us. Hopefully we can link these in the chat. You guys can show these players some love for our semifinals here at the ZOWIE NA Open. And, yep, Clarity Shu. So we'll go ahead and link that here. But Rico is QXG Dark Cell. That I did not expect. I'm going to go ahead and drop these in the chat for everybody. Drop a little tweet as well. Use some of these social media. And guys, while you're at it, make sure to go ahead and follow ZOWIE Gear on Twitter. Let them know what you think of the tournament. If you think they should keep doing them, I certainly do think so. You can also follow the Clarity_Gaming right on Twitter there as well. Actually, I'll link those as well. I will just be that guy. I'm going to be an absolute gentleman, make it easier for everybody. What do you think of that? I'm feeling pretty good about it. Oh, shoot. Keeps declining. Not cool. Not cool, man. Well, you know what we'll do? We will go... Oh, I just got dropped from the game. Or did somebody boot me? Well, what we'll do is we're going to go to short break, guys. While you can check out these Twitters I'm linking, we'll be back once we got our players for our next semifinal.